It's Europe's largest gathering on Christian evangelism in 25 years. The last time was in Holland, where evangelists and ministers from across the world gathered for Amsterdam 2000.
Where are you from?
India.
Holland!
Nigeria. Kazakhstan.
It was a moment seen as a passing of the torch by the Reverend Billy Graham, who couldn't make the conference due to health problems, to the world's evangelists.
For many evangelists who come here to Amsterdam 2000, getting the gospel message to unreached people groups is their greatest challenge.
Fast forward to 2025, the BGEA is heading to Berlin, marking a historic return to the city where Billy Graham held the first World Congress on Evangelism in 1966.
The city of Berlin has influenced the world in every field. What a place from which to shout to the world, Christ is the Savior.
However, this time the focus is solely on Europe's Christian leaders. In less than 2 weeks, more than 1,000 pastors and ministry leaders from 55 nations and territories will gather for the European Conference on Evangelism. BGEA President and CEO Franklin Graham says the theme for this year is from Romans 1:16.
Not being ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Why is that such an important message right now?
Paul just said, I'm not ashamed of it. This is what I believe. This is what I stand for. And this is the gospel that we preach. God uses the gospel to pierce people's hearts. How does it work? Wendy, I have no clue how it works. All I know is this is what God uses to save people. So we have to preach the whole gospel. We don't need to be ashamed of it. We got to teach his death, burial, resurrection, and God will bless it.
Graham says as many as 1,000 churches in Germany closed their doors last year. And that's why it's so important to be in Berlin and encourage the church to keep going.
We want to ignite a fire in Europe to where there's an excitement for evangelism, and the churches are willing to be bold and not ashamed of the gospel. We've got Ukrainian churches coming. We have churches coming from Russia. You know, he said these countries are at war. Yes, they are, but the gospel is more powerful than any of that stuff.
25 years ago in Amsterdam, Graham told me,
God's called us to reach this world, and it's going to take all of us. And I tell you, there's not enough of us.
Do you still feel that way today, 25 years later?
Absolutely. The harvest is ready, but the laborers are few. And so, I mean, that's just a biblical principle. And that's why we've got to do more.
Wendy, Griffith, CBN News.